we are going to discuss 6 gas laws, and each of them has different formula. Okay. Now, when we say gases, these are substances wherein they take the shape of their container and they do not have definite shape and volume. Kung ano yung shape ng container, yun din yung magiging shape ng gas. Kung ano yung volume ng container, yun din yung magiging volume ng gas. Bakit kaya? That is because, according to the kinetic molecular theory, ang mga gas particles, maliliit yung mga yan. And that these particles are constantly moving. Dahil sila ay constantly moving, they're always going against the walls of the container. So, binabangga nila yung walls ng container, maski yung mga particles ng gases mismo nagbabanggaan. So that means, since they are maximizing all of the spaces inside the container, yun yung nagiging volume din mismo ng gases. Bakit ang shape? Kasi ganun nga din, same rationale, kung bakit ganun din yung magiging shape ng gases sa kanyang container. So, those are two of the characteristics of gases. Next is compressibility. Madaling i-compress ang mga particles ng gases because they are very small. Maliban dyan, they do not take up much of the spaces according to their sizes. Another thing, what do you think are the other characteristics of gases? May mga factors ba na nakaka-affect sa properties ng gases?
Combustibility.
Okay, those are what do you call this? Chemical properties of gases. So, ang mga gases, depende sa kung anong uri ng gas sila, they can be combustible or not, they can be flammable or not. Kagaya ng oxygen, ang oxygen, it encourages combustion. Now, ano yung mga different factors na pwedeng maka-affect sa mga gases?
Temperature and temperature.
Temperature. Okay, correct. Pressure. Hindi ko nabasa yung name, pero nabasa ko yung sagot. Pressure. What else?
Density.
Wait, lang basahin ko yung chat. Okay, number of particles.
Volume.
Okay, volume. So those are the 4 factors that can affect gases. Isa-isahin natin sila. Unahin natin si temperature. So si temperature muna. There are 3 units of temperature that we make use in chemistry. They could either be degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit, and Kelvin. Ang kadalasan na ginagamit natin ay degree Celsius. So temperature, kapag pumunta kayo ng mall, ginagamitin kayo ng infrared gun, or sa thermometer kapag sinasaksak sa kilikili, or maski sa kung gaano kainit ang place, yung heat index, naka-Celsius siya. Sa Fahrenheit naman, kadalasan itong ginagamit sa US. Tapos, sa Kelvin naman, ito yung ating unit for international unit for temperature, Kelvin. So how do we convert each of these units of gases or units of temperature?
Kasi mama,
so for example, degree Celsius converted to Kelvin, madali lang siya. It is degree Celsius plus 273.15. So kapag meron kang Celsius, tapos i-convert mo siya sa Kelvin, just add 273.15. For example, the normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. How do we convert this to Kelvin? Plus 273.15. So what will be our temperature in Kelvin? This will be equal to 310.15 Kelvin. So this is our temperature in Kelvin. Paano naman kapag from Fahrenheit to Kelvin? Degree Fahrenheit to Kelvin. We have no direct computation for this one, or we have no direct formula for this one. We have to convert first degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius, and then degree Celsius to Kelvin. So for example, we have 212. How do we convert this to Kelvin? Una, degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius is equal to degree Fahrenheit minus 32, and then divide all of that by 1.8. Sa mga dati yung textbook o sa mga teachers inyo dati, may 5/9 or 9/5, bakit pa natin lilituhin or babalik-balik na rin kung pwede naman natin ilagay na 1.8, di ba? So, 212 degree Fahrenheit minus 32 divided by 1.8.
100 po.
Okay. Isa-isain muna natin step by step. So, 212 minus 32 is 180 divided by 1.8. So, kung sagot niya, it is 100 degrees Celsius. Next, from Celsius naman to Fahrenheit, hindi na pala nakikita. From Celsius to Fahrenheit naman, anong step? Celsius to Fahrenheit is Celsius plus guys.
Nag-echo po.
Okay. So Celsius plus 273.15. So dito, 100 degrees Celsius plus 273.15, our final temperature will be 373 Kelvin. So this will be equal to 373.15 Kelvin. So yun yung sa temperature. What about sa pressure? Sa pressure, we have 5 units. 180, we have ATM, or atmospheric pressure. We have millimeter per mercury, or mmHg. We also have torr. We have PSI, or pounds per square inch. And then we have kilopascal. Now, meron tayong tinatawag na standard temperature at pressure. The standard temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. The standard pressure naman, noon ang ginagamit ay 1 atm. Pero ngayon, binago na hindi na standard pressure ang 1 atm. Ang standard pressure is 100 kilopascal. Pero based on research, sa mga sinearch ko, noong mga nakarang araw, hindi nila ginagamit na kilopascal ang standard pressure. They still make use of 1 atm. So in accordance to that, we're going to make use of 1 atm as our standard pressure. Now, 1 atmospheric pressure is our standard pressure. It is equal to 760 millimeter mercury. Also, the same with torr, 760, ang isang atm. For PSI, or pounds per square inch, 1 atm is equal to 14.696 pounds per square inch. For kilopascal, it is 101.325. So ito yung conversion ng 1 atmospheric pressure. So let us have an example. So for example, ang given sa inyo ay 355 kilopascal. And then we have to convert this to atm. Now, using our given 355 kilopascal, next is we are going to get the conversion. So, since ang involved dito ay si ATM at kPa, kukunin natin yung values nila. Sino ang ilalagay natin sa denominator? Si kPa.
KPA po.
PA. Okay. Our denominator, yung unit niya, ay dapat the same din sa given para ma-cancel. So, 1 ATM, 101.325 kPa, ang lalagay natin sa denominator ay yung kPa. So, 101.325 kPa. At sa taas, yung hinahanap natin, 1 ATM. So, cancel kPa. So, 355, kapag nasa baba, divided by 101.325, times 1, this will be equal to 3.50 ATM. Remember, kapag mole for decimal places. The rest, 2 decimal places lang. Okay, so ganun lang mag-convert sa pressure. Number of moles, ito yung ginagawa natin, weight, mole, molecular weight. And then next, we have volume. Sa volume, meron tayong liter. It is the standard international unit for volume, liter. Pwede maging ml, pwede maging kiloliter, or megaliter. There are instances na kung minsan ang ginagamit na unit for volume ay cubic centimeter, cubic meter, cubic kilometer. So kapag may nakita kayong unit na ganito, it is already understood na volume ang hinahanap. Okay? So let's start with number 1. Ang gagawin natin ay sasagutan natin muna yung mga odd numbers. So 135. And then after natin sagutan yung 135, punta tayo sa 246. Okay. Number 1. A 20-liter gas kept in a movable piston has an initial pressure of 1.5 atm at 25 degrees Celsius. If the piston is allowed to expand isothermally or at a constant temperature at 45 liters, what will be the resulting pressure of the gas? So, bago tayo mag-start, ang laging una natin gagawin ay alamin natin kung ano yung mga given. So, what are the given in this question in number 1?
Volume.
Okay, volume. So, okay, so dalawang volume natin. 20 liters tapos 45 liters. Alin dyan ang initial, alin dyan ang final?
20 liters initial, 45.
Okay. So, V1 or initial volume is 20 liters. Ito yung bago pa magkaroon ng changes. V2 naman, yung 45 liters after the change daw. Next, ano pa yung mga given dyan?
Pressure po.
Okay, pressure. Pressure is
1.5.
1.5 atm. Next, yung Celsius. Anong unit yan? Unit ng temperature. So, the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Next naman, based on the question, ito yung mga given. At ang hinahanap natin ay yung final pressure. Now, sinabi ba na merong changes sa temperature? So, based on the question, sabi niya, constant daw yung temperature. So, negligible yung value ng temperature. We can erase temperature. So, therefore, dito sa question na to, ang may kinalaman lang ay ang volume at pressure. Now, the gas law, which is about the volume and pressure, is called the Boyle's law. Boyle's law is the one, or the gas law, which is concerned with the relationship of volume and pressure. It is mathematically expressed as P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay? So, ito yung formula for Boyle's law. Next, using our given, ano ang nawawala?
Pressure.
P2.
So, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Nawawala ang P2. So, kailangan nating i-divide yung kasama nung nawawala. So, nawawala si P2. Ang kasama niya si V2. So, we have to divide both sides by V2 para maalis, para ang maiwan lang ay si P2. Cancel V2. So, P2 now is equal to P1 V1 over V2. Okay. Next, tignan natin yung mga given. Ang volume ba magkapareho lang ng unit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Kapag magkapareho ng unit, you can proceed. Pero kapag magkaiba ng unit, i-convert mo yung isa. For example, ito ay ml. So, pwedeng yung liter gawin mong ml or yung ml gawin mong liter. Kaya na ano, okay lang. Pareho lang din ang lalabas na sagot. Okay. So, P2 is equal to the value of P1 is
1.5.
okay, 1.5 atm. The value of V1 is
20 liters.
20 liters.
20 liters.
The value of V2 is
45 liters.
45
45
liters.
liters. So, cancel similar units. So, 1.5 times 20 divided by 45. This will be equal to 0.2 decimal places.
67.
Okay,
0.67.
0.67 atm. So, the final pressure is 0.67 atm. Okay. Now, pansinin natin, nung 1.5 ang pressure, 20 ang kanyang volume. Ngayon naman, nung bumaba ang pressure, ano nangyari sa volume?
Nag-increase.
Nag-increase.
Nag-increase. Simple.
The relationship also is inverse.
Directly proportional.
Inversely proportional.
Sabihin, kapag bumaba yung isa ay tataas. Inversely proportional. Wait kang sandali.
Repeat po yung
Yung?
techo, yung law po niya. Hindi ko po masyado nag-echo yung voice niyo po.
Okay, sige. So guys, pakimute muna yung mga microphones niyo. Now, kapag sa mga given, ang naiwan lang ay volume tapos pressure, then this is a relationship na ang kinalaman ay Boyle's law. Kasi sa Boyle's law, ang kanyang formula ay P1 V1 at P2 V2. Ibig sabihin pressure and volume lang yung kanyang pakialam or yung kanyang concern. So since volume tapos pressure lang ang nasa mga given, we will make use of the formula ng Boyle's law. So dito sa Boyle's law, P1 V1 it is equal to P2 V2. Now in order for us to determine the missing, nawawala kasi yung P2, ang ginawa natin ay ganito. So P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Ang nawawala dito ay si P2. Ito si P2. Ngayon naman, para kailangan nating ihiwalay si P2 sa equation. So in order to do that, we have to divide both sides ng kasama nung nawawala. Ang kasama ng nawawala dito ay si V2. So si V2 ang magiging denominator sa both sides. So makakancel si V2 dito, may iwan na lang si P2. So therefore, P2 will now become P1 V1 over V2. So ito na ngayon yung lumabas. Ito yung P1 natin, 1.5 atm. V1 is 20 liters and V2 is 45 liters. So lahat ng mga nasa taas i-multiply, tapos i-divide siya ng nasa denominator. Ang lalabas ay 0.67 atm. Now, we're going to look at this. We're going to take a look at the given. So, nung dati, ang volume niya ay 20 liters at 1.5 atm. So, nung ang naging pressure niya ay naging 0.67, ang volume niya from 20 naging 45. So, that means nag-increase. Bumaba yung pressure, tumaas yung volume. So, since bumaba yung isa at yung isa ay tumaas, we can say that the relationship in Boyle's law is inversely proportional. So, inverse ang kanyang relationship. Okay, so to reinforce this, yung number 2 na lang muna sinasagutan natin. Wait lang sandali. Kailangan na uminom ng gamot. Okay, number 2. An air compressor contains 11.5 liters of gas at 1.1 atm. If the pressure inside the compressor has to be increased to 4.3 atm without changing the temperature, what should be the final volume? Okay, so what are the given?
Dalawang pressure po.
Okay, yung pressure. The pressure, nung umpisa ay Ano ang initial pressure niya?
1.1
Okay, 1.1. So in gas law, madali lang actually ang computations. Ang problem lang sa mga computations involving gas law ay yung mga question. You have to identify if the value is initial or final. You have to identify kung ano bang factor na nakaka-affect sa gases, yung value na yon. If it is for pressure, for volume, for temperature. Okay. Next, P1 is 1.10 atm. What else ang mga given?
Volume.
Volume.
The volume is
11.5 liters.
11.5 liters. Next, yung 4.3 atm, ano yan? Initial or final pressure?
Final.
Okay, final pressure. So P2 is 4.3 atm. At hanapin daw natin ang final volume. Okay, wait lang, sandali. Excuse. So, nawawala ang final volume. Since this involves pressure and volume ulit, kaya ang formula natin ay kay Boyle's law. It is P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Ang nawawala ngayon ay V2. So, divide both sides ng kasama ng nawawala. Ito yung nawawala. Sino yung kasama niya?
P2.
P2. So, divide both sides by P2. Cancel P2. V2 will be equal to P1 V1 over P2. So, V2 is equal to, the value of P1 is
1.1.
1.1 atm. 1.1 or 1.10 anyway. V1 is
11.5.
11.5 liters. Divided by P2, which is 4.3 atm. Cancel atm. So 1.1 times 11.5 divided by 4.3. So
2.94 liters.
okay, correct. 2.94 liters. So this is 2.94 liters. Nung ang pressure niya ay 1.1, ang volume ay 11.5. Nung tinakpan ng pressure to 4.3, ano nangyari sa volume? Bumaba. So, inversely proportional. Madali lang ang gas law, di ba? So you just have to know how to identify the given. Okay, let's move to number 3. Pakisabi ko masyadong maliit yung sulat ko. Okay. Number 3, 50-liter tank yung gas inside the laboratory has a pressure of 5 atm at 25 degrees Celsius. How much will the pressure increase at noontime when the temperature reaches 32 degrees Celsius? What are the given?
50 liters.
Okay, yung 50 liters, ano yun? Initial or final?
Initial.
Okay, P1 is 50 liters. Next, what else?
Pressure.
Okay, yung pressure natin, P1 ay? Okay, 5 atm. For temperature,
5 degrees Celsius.
Okay. Temperature is initial yan kasi sabi niya wala pang nababago. So 25 degrees Celsius. Next, how much will the pressure increase? So P2 ang nawawala. Tapos at noontime when the temperature reaches 32 degrees Celsius. So nabago daw ang temperature. So T2 is equal to 32 degree Celsius. May sinabi ba sa question na nabago ang volume?
Wala po.
Wala. Volume is negligible in this case. So this one, it is the relationship between pressure and temperature. Okay? So this one is under Gay-Lussac's law. Now, Gay-Lussac's law is concerned with the relationship of gases in terms of temperature and pressure. It is mathematically expressed as P1 over T1 is equal to P2 over T2. Okay? Kapag ganyan na, we have to cross-multiply. Sino ang nawawala dito sa ating given, ay sa ating question?
P2.
P2 ang nawawala. So therefore, P2 is equal to, sino yung kasama ni P2? Based on the cross multiplication.
T1.
Okay, si P2 yung nawawala, ang kasama niya ay si T1. Therefore, si T1 ang magiging denominator. Kung sino yung kasama ng nawawala, siya yung magiging denominator. Okay, gets? Next,
sir.
the numerator yung kumpleto, P1, T2. Masyado bang mali yung sulat ko? Nababasa niyo pa ba?
Nababasa ko.
Mabasa po, sir.
Next, what is our pressure? Initial pressure,
5.
5 atm. What is our final temperature?
32.
32
Okay.
degrees Celsius.
Celsius. Now, in all of the computations in gas laws, dapat lahat ng temperature ay nasa Kelvin. So we have to convert 32 degrees Celsius to Kelvin. So how do we do that? 32 plus?
273.15.
Okay. So 32 plus 273.15 is equal to 305.15 Kelvin. Lahat ng temperature dapat naka-Kelvin. Next, what is our initial temperature?
25 degrees Celsius.
Okay, converted to Kelvin, this will become 25 plus 273.15. This will become 298.15 Kelvin. So cancel Kelvin. So 5 times 305.15 divided by 298.15. What will be our final pressure?
5.12.
Okay, 5.12 atm. So, this is 5.12 atm. So, nung ang ating pressure ay 25 degrees, ay nung ating pressure ay 5, ang temperature ay 25. Nung tinaasan natin ng temperature, ano nangyari sa pressure?
Tumaas din.
Tumaas din. So, therefore, Gay-Lussac's law,
Directly
ang kanyang yes, correct. Ang kanyang relationship ay directly proportional. Kapag tumaas yung isang value, tataas din yung kabila. Kapag bumaba yung isang value, bababa din yung sa kabila. So that is Gay-Lussac's law. So, kagaya na sinabi ko, ang importante ay alam mo kung ano yung mga given. Kung ito ba ay pang pressure, volume, or temperature. Tapos, importante din na alam mo yung importante din na alam mo kung initial siya or final. Let's go to number 4. A confined amount of gas at 10 degrees Celsius has a pressure of 2.5 atm. What is the new pressure if the temperature is increased to 50 degrees Celsius? So what are the given?
10 degrees Celsius.
Temperature 10 degrees Celsius.
Okay, initial temperature ay 10 degrees Celsius. Ano pa?
Pressure.
Okay, initial pressure ay 2.5 atm. Next, what about 50 degrees Celsius? Ano yan?
Final temperature.
Okay, final temperature or T2. Hinahanap natin ang P2. Yun uli ang unknown. So, since temperature at pressure pa rin siya, it is still under Gay-Lussac's law. So, the formula for Gay-Lussac's is P1 over T1 is equal to P2 over T2. Cross multiply uli. Sino ang nawawala? Si
P2.
Okay, P2. So P2, kung sino yung kasama ni P2, automatic ilagay mo na siya agad sa denominator. Ito si P2 nag-cross multiply, si T1 ang kasama niya, so automatic ilagay mo na siya agad sa baba para hindi ka malito. Tapos yung kabila, yung kompleto, sila yung numerator, P1, T2. 2. Next, P2 is equal to, ano ang value ng P1 natin?
2.5.
Okay, 2.5 atm. Ang value ng T2 natin ay 50 degrees Celsius. Celsius uli, convert to Kelvin. So, 273.15 plus 50. This will be 323.15 Kelvin. Next naman, ang ating T1. T1 is 10 degrees Celsius, convert to Kelvin. So, plus 273.15, this will become 283.15 Kelvin. Cancel similar units. So, 2.5 times 3 to 3.15 divided by 283.15. So, this will be
2.85.
okay, 2.85 atm. So, 2.85 atm. Nung 10 degrees Celsius, 2.5. Nung 50 degrees Celsius, tumaas ang temperature, tumaas din ang pressure. So, directly proportional. Okay? Do you have any questions so far?
Sir, question po.
Yes po.
Sir, kapag po ba may mga problems that involves computation of pressure, dapat po ba standard pressure lang po ang gagamitin na unit?
Okay. Kapag doon sa mga problem ay nakalagay is STP, for example, 10 liters of gas exists at STP. So, ang gagamitin mo is standard pressure at temperature. So, that is the only time that you will make use of the standard temperature or pressure.
Okay po, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Po.
The only time that you will make use of STP or 1 atm, tapos 0 degrees Celsius is kung yun yung sinabi doon mismo sa question. Okay? So, anong number na tayo? Number 5. Okay, number 5. Consider a 25-liter gas in a container initially at 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atm. If this gas is heated to 80 degrees Celsius, what will happen to its volume under constant pressure? So what are the given? Okay, now there's a catch in identifying kung initial or final siya. Kapag sinabi niyang initially, or kapag sinabi niyang before, or kapag naka-past tense siya, most likely siya yung initial. Kapag naka-future tense siya, for example, will be increased, sinabi niya, naka-future tense. Or kapag sinabi niya na the final, or what will happen after, yun yung mga final na value. Okay, so sinabi niya dito initially at 25 degrees Celsius and 1 atm. So, ibig sabihin, sila yung initial temperature and pressure. Okay? So, para sa mga nalilito, that's the catch para mas madaling malaman kung siya ay pang-initial or pang-final. Okay, number 5, what are the given?
$25.0.
Okay, so yung 25 liters, that is initial volume. So, 25.0 liters. Tapos, yung ating 25 degrees Celsius ay T1 kasi initially, sabi niya, 25 degrees Celsius. Tapos, initial pressure ay 1 atm. If the gas is heated to 80 degrees Celsius, so ito, nakapang-future tense siya. If the gas is heated to 80 degrees Celsius, so final temperature. So T2 is 80 degrees Celsius. What will happen to its volume? So ibig sabihin yung V2 ang nawawala. Yung P2 is under constant pressure. So these are the given based on the question. At since sinabi niya na constant pa rin ang pressure, alisin na natin yan. So this means that the question involves the relationship between volume and temperature. Now, kapag ang given ay volume tapos temperature lang, this is Charles' law. Charles' law is the law for gases which is concerned with the relationship between volume and temperature. It is mathematically expressed as V1 over T1 is equal to V2 over T2. So, ganun uli. Cross-multiply uli sila. So, ang nawawala ay si V2. Isulat mo na agad si V2. Tapos, kung sino yung kasama ni V2, automatic siya na yung magiging denominator. In this case, ito si V2. Ang kasama niya ay si T1. So, therefore, ang denominator natin ay T1. And the numerator yung the rest, V1, T2. Next. For our initial volume, it is 25 liters. Final temperature, T2 kasi, so final temperature, 80 degrees Celsius, but we have to convert that to Kelvin. So 80 plus 273.15, this is 353.15 Kelvin. Divided by T1. T1 is 25 degrees Celsius, converted to Kelvin, that is 298.15 Kelvin. Cancel Kelvin. So 25 times 353.15 divided by 298.15. The final answer is?
32.32.
Ano po?
32.32.
29.61.
29.61. 29.61 liters. I-double check ko lang. 25 times 353.15 divided by 298.15. Okay, 29.61 liters. So, 29.61 liters. Nung tumaas ang temperature natin from 25 liters siya nun, nung tumaas siya to 80 degrees Celsius, ang nangyari sa volume natin ay tumaas din. So, therefore, Charles' law, ang kanyang relationship ay, yes, directly proportional. So far, alin yung mga laws na directly proportional?
Charles' law and
Taylor-Sachs.
Taylor-Sachs law.
Okay. Okay, correct. Charles' law and Taylor-Sachs law. Ang inverse ay?
Boyle's law.
Okay, Boyle's law. So long as you know the given, malalaman mo na agad kung ano ang formula na dapat gagamitin. Number 6. What are the given in number 6? Okay. Una, yung 250 ml. Ano yan?
Volume.
Okay. Initial volume is 250 ml. Next, yung 720 torr, ano yan?
Pressure.
Okay, pressure. Initial pressure is 720 torr. Next, 25 degrees Celsius.
Temperature.
Initial temperature. So, 25 degrees Celsius. Next, sabi niya, if the pressure is held constant and the temperature is raised to 100 degrees Celsius, so T2 ngayon ay
100.
100 degree Celsius. Tapos, what will be its new volume? So, ano ang magiging bago? So, since nakapang future siya, so yun yung V2. Nawawala ang volume. Now, based on the question, ito yung mga given. At since sinabi niya na constant daw ang pressure, we can remove the value for pressure. So, therefore, ang given pa rin natin ay volume and temperature. It is still under Charles' law. So, V1 over T1 is equal to V2 over T2. Nawawala ang V2, cross-multiply. So, isulat na si V2. Kung sino yung kasama nung nawawala, siya yung denominator. So, in this case, T1. At gawin natin numerator yung kompleto, yung V1, T2. Okay. Next, V2. V1 is equal to 250 ml. Next, final temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. Convert to Kelvin. This is 373.15 Kelvin. T1 is 25 degrees Celsius plus 273.15 magiging 298.15 Kelvin. Cancel Kelvin. So 250 times 373.15 divided by 298.15. Our answer is
312 point.
okay. 312.89 milliliters. So 312.89 ml. So tumaas ang temperature from 25 to 100, ang volume tumaas from 250 to 312.89. So that is the third law of third gas law. First is Boyle's law, second Gay-Lussac's, third Charles' law.